Okay, good afternoon and welcome, you beautiful human beings, guys. It is Wednesday. It is the 6th of September. This is the DVDM markets daily dose, and I've decided every once in a while to make it free for all. It just makes it super simple, keeps it clean and straightforward. And I'm getting a lot of messages from people asking, hey, can they get the copy of the shows after the fact, etc. We get so busy in trading. It's just time to share the love across the board. So first and foremost, guys, welcome. It is Wednesday. We have a ton to discuss and a short time to do it. So share the love. We've got a new sort of track list for September. I hope in the pause moments you guys enjoy the music. I've had a ton of fun putting these tracks together and just being jamming out in the studio. So there's a ton to discuss. Obviously a ton that happened over the course of yesterday, a few trades that you guys took based off yesterday's shows, and some further details we're going to dive into today. So first and foremost, let's jump into what is happening in the world. But first and foremost, before we even get there, guys, drop in the comments where in the world you're joining us from. Love to know where all our viewers are from, and appreciate you guys for being here with us live. Now again, if you want to get live every single day, Premium Plus is where it's at, less than $1 a day. So much value and so much more. Got the beautiful Miss Marsha Bart in the house. We have the beautiful Miss B downstairs as well. So welcome to all the DVDM markets family from around the world. You can see Friday is down in Zambia. Zambia is beautiful. We need to come and visit sometime soon. So let's jump in with what's happening in the world. And we chatted about this very, very briefly yesterday in the broadcast. But essentially, the impact that is happening in the world from a China perspective is really boosting the dollar right now. And I think this is going to become a very big talking point. And I wanted to take just 30 seconds just to clarify what is happening. So we chatted about this yesterday. But in essence, what you need to know is that when there's turmoil in the world looks at where's the safest place to keep my money. And at the moment, that still remains the United States dollar. Anytime we see turmoil, whether it's Russia, Ukraine, China, whatever the case may be, this boosts the dollar. Now, from a price action perspective, this is very hard to predict because these outside issues can often come in and mess with some of our price action formations. However, there's still a very high likelihood of what we're about to see, and I'm going to take you guys through that when we get into the price action. However, on a fundamental data point for today, we don't have all too much. I just want to make a quick noteworthy mention about what happened a little bit earlier in the day with regards to the German factory orders, right? The economists expected to have a slight decline, minus 4%, came in at minus 11, almost minus 12%. That's month on month. So you would have seen that a bunch of European stocks, a bunch of European indexes would have taken a bit of a tumble this morning. That's basically based on the fact that these factory orders are slowing down. So again, this sits on a production line. So when you start to see the base or the raw level orders start to decline, you can expect the output levels are going to decline, supply is going to decline, buying is going to decline, economic activity is going to decline. So that's one item like this can have quite a big ripple effect on the markets. But moving on into today, a few important items on the dollar that we're going to be looking at over the course of the day. The first one being at 3:45 this afternoon, it's going to be the services PMI data release. Economists expect this to have a slight decline coming at 51. Again, this is a rating out of 100. And then we have the Bank of Canada interest rate decision expected to remain flat for the time being. That's pretty much what we're expecting also to happen with the FOMC in the US. We're expecting them to remain flat. So this will be a good indication on the dollar, whether we will see potentially a ripple effect in the US that they'll keep and remain interest rates on the flat side. Slightly bigger, or maybe we'll essentially have a bit of more of a move in the market. It's going to be that ISM non-manufacturing PMI that's due at 4 o'clock on the dot this afternoon. So any trades that you're in, please be aware these are going to happen in the background. It shouldn't affect our overall position, but again, if this is a shock number, example on these numbers, specifically ISM non-manufacturing, as well as the services PMI, if that number is greater than 53, 54 for today, it can cause a shock dollar boost or dollar value. However, I do anticipate we might be sort of dollar bulls for today, looking at some of the price action in the markets. Now, first and foremost, for those of you who were in on the golden nugget this morning, well done. Beautiful, clean move. USA 100 didn't move as cleanly, but did make a straight move for 600 pips. So if you had a 400 pip trailing, as I taught you guys on Saturday, standard conditions will be your first take profit is at 200 pips with a 400 pip trailing, right? That means you take profits at 200 pips, 400 pip trailing. Average moves are between 500 and 600 pips. That means if the market spikes and pulls back, you'll take your 200 pips, 400 pip trailing. Even if it reverses against you, it'll close out your other trades. As an example, on USA 100 at 200 pips profit per position. So just a side note, I know if you're part of the free group, you might not know what the golden nugget is. It is what it is. That's for Premium Plus. So let's jump into the markets. Let's have a look at what is happening on the dollar front. We're going to start off first with the dollar index and then move into some other trade opportunities that are pretty exciting that we're looking at trading off today. So first and foremost, right next to me, we have the dollar index. Right now, we've discussed this in length over the past couple of days. This has been quite a big focus. Now, as I said yesterday, this is jumping down to a 4-hour time frame. We've seen spikes in the past where the dollar index breaches this diagonal resistance level that I've got here, this blue level across the screen here. And we've seen in the past it's breached, kind of moved a little bit sideways and then tumbled. That's what we're really hoping for over the course of this week. Now, even if there's not a tumble, there's a bunch of trade opportunities that we can obviously take, but we obviously don't want to get into or caught in anything if we see a dollar tumble or if we see a dollar continuation. So at the moment, the dollar's broken through that level, but not looking immensely strong, right? It's not broken through and made a runner. It's broken through and over the last 12 to 18 hours kind of stalled out at this level, right? So we got to take that into a bit of consideration. However, we are looking at a few other trades. We're going to start off with Euro USD. As I mentioned yesterday, Euro USD is round about that point in time when we had our show yesterday. And I mentioned that Euro USD can make that push to the 88.2, right? If you zoom out on a 15 or even on a 1 hour time frame, you recall that I mentioned Euro USD can make that push to the 88.2 and stop out there and then potentially start turning. Now, for the reasons of a safe entry, I've got some market structure here, or some price action, more specifically this diagonal trend line on a 1 hour time frame. You can rewatch the video, pause, redraw this price action on your side. And I definitely advise, if you're starting out in trading and you want to see what we see, go ahead, stop the video, rewatch at a later stage, pause, try and redraw. So when price breaks certain levels, you can start to see what we're seeing and just fine tune your price action, or at least your chart drawing abilities, connecting the dots. It's glorified connecting the dots, if you will. Now, what we're looking for in Euro USD is not a buy off the 88.2. There's quite a bit of risk there, again, with that dollar strength. However, what we are looking for in a perfect storm situation would be that the Euro USD passes through that 78.6, and that'll be at 1.07 and 73 pips. So €1 buying $1, 7 cents and 73 pips. That will break. If the 78.6 is broken, it does two things: breaks our diagonal trend market structure, passes through the next fib level, which means that this market is technically the bear state has stopped, and we can then obviously look for longs. Now again, this would be a perfect storm situation should the dollar index retrace below that 104.11, 104.10 mark. That would mean that all the stars are aligning to a weaker dollar, further incentivizing that Euro USD long type position. In addition to that, we also have USD CHF. As we looked at yesterday, we have certain entry conditions for Euro USD CHF. This is a 4 hour time frame. I'm going to drop down to an hour, and you'll see we've got a rising market structure here, and we know that USD CHF can spike to that 78.6, very similar inversely to what we're seeing on Euro USD. Again, Euro USD, the dollar is the quote currency. On USD CHF, the dollar is the base currency, right? So they're inverted in their movements. A weaker dollar in this particular case will cause a USD CHF sell-off, right? Now what we're waiting for here is we're waiting for this 30-minute time frame channel to be broken, and that might occur around about the 0.8879. So meaning one United States dollar buying 88 cents, 75 pip Swiss franc, right? So that's what we're looking for as an entry requirement to fall or to start looking at some major short opportunities. Now, I know there were a few of you, I got some screenshots of you guys buying your USD off the 88.2. That's obviously quite brave and well done for that. But again, in order to issue a signal, we need that level to be completely cleared out and moving, clear into structure. Now, one trade or one pair that I can call that isn't as neat or as tidy, and we spoke about this in quite a bit of length yesterday, was gold, right? Gold trending and kind of sitting in that no man's land. Excuse my charts. This one on gold, we're obviously doing quite a bit of detailed analysis, and I have cleaned up other charts, but gold still remains fairly messy, if you will. But we were speaking about gold being in that no man's land between the two fib levels. Obviously having that fib fan, it's gone through the fib fan. And on the leadership group, I did mention below 1927, it's likely to continue that sell-off. Now, gold is attempting to get back into zone, but it has quite a bit of work to do to get back into the greater bull structure. Again, the perfect storm situation would mean two things: that gold would get back into structure, and we would have that confirmed weakening of that dollar index. Now, I just want to also point out the last time we saw the dollar index above this zone, right, we also had a massive gap towards the downside on the data front, right? So again, that was on the 9th of March. If you want to go back and have a look at what happened there, for the 9th of March, we saw a massive gap there, as well as we saw everything that had dollar quote currencies pretty much rally, and everything that was dollar based currencies fall quite substantially. So the potential for this movement to have quite a big ripple effect is obviously fairly big. The only item that I can foresee on the fundamental front that can have as big of an effect as this on the market right now would be something from the FOMC, something from the Federal Reserve, saying that, hey, they're seeing all the signs that they need, they're going to keep interest rates flat, what they're doing is working in the economy. That's the only thing I can see cooling off the dollar to a substantial level. The risks at the moment on the dollar to an upside move is going to be these external catalysts: China, Russia, Ukraine. All these things will create uncertainty in the worldwide economy, further fueling investment into the dollar, pumping that dollar further towards the top side. So on the top side risk move, obviously we need to be fairly cautious of that. Now, again, I did mention yesterday that even if the dollar wants to continue, it represents huge opportunities for us and a break in structure on all the trades that I've currently spoken about. And again, we want to wait for confirmation. We don't wish to just, put our finger in the air, guess which way it's going to go. And that's really what trading is about, guys. Trading is not about guessing a direction, but being prepared for multiple outcomes, being prepared and ready to execute. That's really what it comes down to more than anything else. So looking at gold again, perfect storm would be we get back into structure and we see that dollar index fall. Now, I do believe there is some opportunity for us on gold today, and I will be issuing a buy opportunity on Premium Plus once I see gold get through not only the 61.8 currently listed plus minus at about $1,928, but again, once we break this diagonal that I've been able to spot on gold, that is on a 15-minute time frame. You're welcome to pause, draw this out, draw out your Fibonacci on a 1-hour time frame, looking at the move from the 29th of August to the absolute top that peaked on the 1st of September. That will give you a 61.8 fib level, and those two are the levels that we're looking at. If they breach from a price action perspective, we will consider jumping into some long positions on gold. Now, quickly having a look at US30, I mentioned yesterday US30 was starting to show a little bit of a descending triangle, right? I'm not 100% sure who sent me the screenshots. There was two of you who sent the screenshot of the triangle, and you guys were able to nail it, right? You caught the US30 sellout on the triangle, and I referenced a previous triangle, descending triangle, that we've sold US30 off before, right? The bigger triangle, obviously slightly earlier in the month, first week of August, plus minus. And we saw the same thing yesterday. So if you're the ones that caught, if anybody here caught that descending triangle sell off, I'm not 100% sure who it was. I'm not going to go check my phone right now, but if that was you, massive well done. Now, with regards to the golden nugget for this morning, right? The golden nugget for this morning moved specifically, having a look at US30, the golden nugget this morning moved quite sharply, right? In the sense that we got that signal, and I'm not going to re-explain what the golden nugget is here because that's for you guys on Premium Plus, but with a 150 pip stop, you should have been safe, or at least potentially been able to hold it, right? Looking at US30, and it obviously continued that further sell-off right now. At the moment, at this point in time, we are sitting around about 450 or so pips in profit. Now, again, as a side note, and I want you guys to write this down, if you're part of Premium Plus, please remember, the first 200 pips, you're going to take that as profit. If the RSI and those other things that I showed you are not in danger, you want to have a 400 pip trailing stop. If the RSI is in danger zone, and I've shown you where those zones are, you want to have a 200 pip trailing stop, right? So you want to take 200 pips on your first 200 pips, and you want to have a 200 pip trailing stop to protect your orders. Now, due to a bunch of requests and popular requests, I have done the following, and this is an announcement for Premium Plus. So I've received a bunch of requests saying, Dane, we understand the golden nugget, we love the golden nugget, but we want that confirmation, we want that confidence of when to enter and how to enter, etc. So starting from tomorrow, I'm shifting our schedule around a little bit, and instead of gymming at this particular time or running around with errands, etc., or meetings, I will be issuing the golden nugget as a formal order every single morning, both for US 30 as well as USA 100. Right, and the important part about you learning the golden nugget is that you can understand why we're taking it. It's not just simply a market opportunity or signal, but rather you can have learned the strategy on Saturday, but then you see me implement it day by day to build your confidence, because the second part of the golden nugget series will blow you away, because often the times that the golden nugget moves often correlates with the New York Stock Exchange move, etc. So if you're able to get in early on the day and hold on to that trade, that sometimes results in a continuation of the US Open as well as the New York Stock Exchange Open, which can result in 1,500 to 3,000 pip trades, right? So for those of you who've asked, I've heard your message and it will be delivered. So every single morning, I'll stick around, I will issue out those orders, and then I'll continue on with my day, and then obviously we'll get back into the markets around about 12 when I'm back in the office and back in the studio. So you've asked, and we will obviously deliver on that. Now, quickly having a look at USA 100, just from a bigger time frame perspective, 4-hour time frame. We were obviously discussing this in a little bit of detail yesterday, and excuse this chart. I've just got some key levels that we're obviously monitoring, but USA 100, very, very similar, step up in price, but we failed at 78.6. We're hovering down below, and really this is going to determine, the future of the USA 100, specifically for the balance of this week. Now, again, should we receive that weaker dollar blow, receive that dollar index sell-off, this will trigger long-term buys on indices across the board. So even though we are on a sell for the golden nugget, as long as the USA 100 hovers below the 78.6 and is losing momentum the way it is at the moment, there's a high likelihood for at least a retracement back down to that 61.8, right? So ideally what we'd like to see this afternoon is the USA have a sell continuation based on our golden nugget into these deeper territories down below. Now we are talking, 1,400, 1,005 pips on USA 100, and from a US 30 perspective, right, we're already at a diagonal resistance support level. So USA 30 to push down to previous or equal lows anywhere 4,000 pips and above. So the golden nugget has some serious potential to run. However, should I see on the New York Stock Exchange Open, right, that we're starting to get a different momentum, a different direction, I will issue that as a separate order. Yesterday afternoon, we saw indices go in opposites, right? So we saw one run to the top side, one start to sell off, and I generally don't like when the indices split, because then it means one of two things. Either the correlation is broken, or we're seeing an external factor being placed on something like the Dow Jones that isn't affecting the USA 100, and then we don't have pure price action driving the both of them, right? So on my perspective, I'm still holding my USA 100 shorts from the golden nugget this morning. I'm still holding my USA 30 shorts from this morning. And again, my hope is that we see that continuation into the US Open and potentially the New York Stock Exchange that will allow us to have some of these much longer term trades to potentially hold on to. However, there's a bunch of trades in the pot. We have Euro USD, we have USD CHF, we have some gold opportunities, as well as additional opportunities on USA 30 as well as USA 100, otherwise NASDAQ. I will be issuing these orders directly into Premium Plus as they happen. I've got a bunch of orders prepared, got a bunch of levels ready and waiting, but now you know what my thinking is, and now you are prepared and ready when we issue those orders, why we are taking those trades. So again, as from tomorrow, I will be issuing the golden nugget as a formal order so that you can follow along, build your confidence that when we get into the second series, the second continuation of the golden nugget, you've got it solidified, you've locked it down, you've seen the performance for yourself. And guys, listen, I was having a discussion with one of our clients earlier this morning. How can there be poverty in the world when we have strategies like this that literally are able to print us money every day? Now, listen, disclaimer, right? There's not financial advice. Nothing we do here is financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes. But when we look at the golden nugget, it's not going to work every single day. It's not going to, right? But if it works 8 out of 10 days, we're talking about free money almost every single day to build your account. Once you fully have grasped the golden nugget, I'm then going to take you into the exponential profit multiplier strategy, where we use the profits from the golden nugget to open up additional trades and not expose our accounts. So we're utilizing the market's money to make money. And I promise you, your eyes will open and you'll never be able to see the markets the same ever again. So we're going to be taking things to the next level every single week, every single month throughout September. So this morning and today, I'm super optimistic and excited. There's so many good trades waiting to develop. Now, again, we're not going to send something that's premature, and I'm not going to send something that's late. We're waiting for that perfect timing, because entry is key. Risk management is key, just as well as everything else when it comes to the market. So there you go. You've got your daily dose, everything you need to know in about 20 minutes. We've slightly overrun for today, but share the love. This is a free video. You can share it with anybody that you wish, that you know is in the markets, that you know is in trading. And again, we're still running the special for September, that if you refer 3 people to join DVDM Markets, you get your Premium Plus for free. So share the love. It costs nothing. Somebody might thank you down the road for exposing them to this powerful world. They get the free education, they get all the other benefits of everybody else, and you get your month of subscription Premium Plus for free. So that's out there. We're going to run that for another week or so and see how that does. But other than that, guys, that's all we're looking at for today. Much love. As always, be safe, trade safe. You know the drill. I will see you guys inside of Premium Plus. If you need help getting into Premium Plus, as always, you guys have Marsha's link in Telegram. Direct message her. She will get you sorted out. Until I see you guys a little bit later, have an amazing day. Chat later. Goodbye.